Okay, not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna have to do like 4 parts to this series because it's never gonna end. Here's my Pretty Little Liars opinions part 2. Okay, so last time I ended the part 1 with saying that Hannah was my favorite liar. Again, I believe that she's just the epitome of how a real teenager would probably act in all of these situations. The struggles with body weight, the struggles with if the guy that you're dating really likes you, the struggles that Hannah was trying to push aside because she didn't think that she was beautiful, the crap that went on in her life, the fact that her mom almost lost their house, the fact that her dad chooses his other family, and she just has so many bad influences around her, and it's affected her negatively so bad, and A has really hurt her so bad. And so I feel like she's honestly one of the liars, probably that got hurt the worst by A, especially physically. So again, I just feel like no matter through that, I feel like I could relate because I feel like I would probably act like that, not to that extent, but and she's funny and she has great style and she looks like this, so why not? But now to the most overrated liar. I'm sorry. Look, I love Spencer, okay? Especially watching it growing up. She was my favorite liar, 100%. And she deserves to be overrated. I mean, she deserves to be rated greatly. However, my issue with Spencer that I had from the first time I watched Pretty Little Liars to now is that she cannot sit down. Like, she's always blaming someone for having something to do with Allison. Like, oh my gosh, you were in Rosewood that night? Oh my gosh, you didn't like Allie either? Oh my gosh, then you must have done something to hurt her. I'm like, girl, no one in Rosewood liked Allison. She bullied everyone. She had grown adults fearing her, okay? And not even just that, she held people's secrets. She let them know. She would use the secrets to blackmail them. No one liked Allison. And not gonna lie, the girls were also treated terribly by Allison. So a lot of the people that Spencer blamed, funny enough, were the people that the girls themselves have hurt or done something negative to. So like, she blamed Toby for probably having something to do with Allison. And my thing is like, okay, y'all are the ones that are like, she blamed Jenna, like, oh, she wants to get revenge on us because of the Jenna thing. I'm like, y'all, why are y'all blaming her for this? Why are y'all thinking that she's A? Probably because y'all know y'all did something bad and that she should be A. Spencer was always blaming someone, and I loved it whenever people told her to just sit down somewhere because she jumped to conclusions so many times. Now, do I love her style? Yes. Do I love her as a character? Yes. Do I love her as Harriet the spy? Because she's always spying and always getting information? Yes. I feel like she is, to be honest, a great character and one of my favorite liars, but she is overrated because she has a lot of wrongs. And that's just what annoyed me so much about her, is that she was blaming everyone. And mind you, spoiler alert, she thought she was the one that harmed Allison at one point. So why was she blaming everybody else? Like, she believed that she hurt Allison. So why are you blaming Jenna, Garrett, all of these people that had something to do with Allison? Like, oh my gosh, if you were in Rosewood that night, if you didn't like Allison and if Allison bullied you, then you might as well be incarcerated because apparently you're the one that hurt her. So the logic was just not it. With that said, that moves me into my favorite boyfriend character. It's Toby, because again, I'm reviewing seasons 1 through 3. I may talk about some of the other seasons in this video, but still, 1 through 3 mainly. So I love first off, I love the evolution of Spencer and Toby, especially in the earlier seasons. But I love that he told her to sit down sometimes. He would tell her, hang on, wait a minute. Remember, you thought I had something to do with Allison? You thought I was a bad guy and I was innocent. In fact, he's the one that got tortured by, basically, he's the one that got blackmailed by Allison. He's the one that got assaulted by Jenna, and he was painted as the bad guy. He never got any reparations, and he never got any apologies either. So he told Spencer to sit down a few times, and I loved it. And he always you could tell he really loved Spencer, and I just loved their dynamic, to be honest. In the earlier seasons, like, he was always there for her. He's willing to fight for her. He's willing to stand up and be like her bodyguard whenever she needs, like, and he would give her space. Like, when they broke up, my heart just like dropped. Spoiler alert, but kind of not spoiler alert. You know, everybody in PLL is like off and on in their relationships, but I really loved his character development. Like, oh, y'all don't even know. I'm only reviewing seasons 1 through 3. I just loved him. Now on to my favorite underrated character, Dr. Sullivan. So, not gonna lie, I did not like it whenever the liar's parents were like, we're gonna go make you see a therapist and stuff. Because the parents were the ones that told these girls to connect through Allison's death, you know, and then when they did, they were like, okay, this is going too far. Y'all need to go see a therapist. So I actually hated the idea because I didn't feel like anybody was listening. Not because I had to see a therapist. I felt like this was right. But because the parents just didn't even really try all that much. And seeing a therapist was just a way for Spencer's dad, Peter, to just basically throw money at the problem and stuff. And it was just a whole ordeal. And they didn't trust her at first. But she deserved to be trusted. Like, she took care of these girls, and whenever they finally felt comfortable enough to open up to her about and all the rest of the troubles that they were going through personally. And I loved how she dealt with it. I loved how she figured out who A was. Sadly, she got taken away and A got to her first and stuff. So I was kind of upset. I was like, why didn't she just shoot them a text? Or why didn't she just, like, y'all had to meet at my office. Just shoot me a text. I don't want to speak about this face to face. Let's do this over text. Just shoot me a text. So that's the only thing I didn't like. But she was always brought back, and she just deserves her flowers. Like, she really took care and cared and loved those girls. So I really appreciate it. Now, this is where I said I would probably start talking about a little bit of the other seasons, like season 4, because this is going to be the character that I could have done without. Now, if you know who this is, you know. I'm not spoiling anything, but she is called the Black Widow. I could have done without her character. I understand the purpose of her character was to strike fear into the liars and to the audience, but really they did nothing with this character. Like, she was literally supposed to show up at random funerals, and the girls didn't know who she was. So they were like, oh my gosh. I'm like, what is the purpose? And then when we found out who this character was, like, honestly, she really did strike fear into my heart anytime she showed up, and she would always run away. I'm like, goodness gracious, who is that? Are they going to be like someone, like a new character that's really going to give some detail or going to harm the characters? Are they working with A? Are they working with Redcoat? Oh my gosh. And then we figured it out. They told us later on, and it was like, now this is what y'all may disagree with me on. I love Bianca Lawson. Let's just start there. I love her. This just has to do with her character, Maya. I did not like Maya. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. But Maya always kind of either gave Emily the cold shoulder, or I felt like pushed her too far. Like, just because you're okay with who you're dating and who you are and stuff and what you're okay with doesn't mean Emily was ready. And I really didn't like how either Maya would give her the cold shoulder or kind of make Emily feel bad for not wanting to step out into the light and be like, hey, this is what I believe and this is how I feel. And when they did start dating and stuff, like, I mean, it was other people that were, in the middle of the relationship, which had nothing to do with Maya. But when she did come back and Pam was okay with Emily's relationship, Maya, I understand she was like, look, she got me into True North and stuff. And that's where Maya met her stalker and everything. So I understand her being upset at Pam. I understand I would be upset too. But Emily just kind of was like, okay, that's enough. Let it go. And Maya would just lie to Emily. Like, they got back together and Maya was lying. She ran away and stuff. I was just like, it's causing way too much drama and problems. Like, And then some of the things that she would say, new girl moved into dead girl's house. I'm like, can you not read the room? Why would you say that? You know, just, no, I'm sorry. I didn't like her as much. I'm sorry.